What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So today we're covering all of Jade's signature weapons, the Cantare, Evensong, and Harmony. I was waiting until the Harmony got patched to basically cover it because it was seriously broken when it came out. And here we are in the Koumei and the Five Fates update, and the Harmony has been nerfed, where it has a damage cap on its super attack now. Additionally, I've always liked the Evensong, just didn't really have much of a reason to use it. And yeah, with these new blast procs, they definitely feel pretty nice. So I'll be covering builds for all three of these signature weapons of Jade to whatever extent it may be. I also have some fun ideas for the future where these weapons could become actually very, very helpful in maybe a raid setting or something like that. So we'll talk about some speculative stuff about that later too. So hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. It's a build video for the most part, but if you don't like build videos, I do lots of different types of content on this channel, so you're the right place for Warframe videos. Make sure to hit that sub button. And yeah, I appreciate all the support on the recent videos, guys. I should be live on stream tonight doing some Warframe farming and new build video stuff like that. So let's get right into it. So yeah, the Jade signature weapons, there's three of them, and there's quite a bit to go over. So I'm going to try to not spend too much time on each of them. But basically, you got the Evensong Bow of Jade, and this one's pretty interesting. So, starting off, when you get a charge shot, hit an enemy with it, they have 7 puncture procs. What does 7 puncture procs do? It means they can't actually hurt you. So this enemy's shooting at me, and there's no damage numbers happening on me. Once those puncture procs wear off, they will be able to damage me as normal. So yeah, you can keep an enemy basically unable to hurt you with this weapon as long as you get some charge hits. Additionally, that charge shot has some AoE built into it. It's about 4 meters of AoE, and mods like Firestorm will extend the range of that AoE as well. That AoE is going to apply status procs twice, so you get lots of procs really easily, making a blast proc build pretty nice for some nice AoE explosions. Additionally, when you get a kill with the Evensong, it gives you increased multi-shot, and that multi-shot increase works for your teammates too. If you use all three of Jade's signature weapons, that multi-shot buff gets doubled, giving 70% multi-shot, which is very nice for getting 10 blast procs for like instant detonations basically on these enemies. So yeah, good stuff there. Now let's move on to the next weapon, the Cantare. This thing never took off, and I would say probably for good reason. This is one of the only weapons that I've actually got a ribbon for because it really, really needs the help in my opinion. But basically, it is a throwing star weapon, and when you reload the weapon, the throwing stars fly back to you, and on the way back, they have guaranteed red crits. So that's kind of what I've used for my build. The direct hits have not very good crit chance, but yeah, when you recall them, it will make red crits. And it has decently high status. You get a decent amount of slash procs out of that. One of the issues with this thing is that when you reload it, the blades come back to like the little ammo holder pouch things. So it's not even like a really easy... It feels very gimmicky and unreliable. This is definitely the worst weapon of the bunch. But yeah, when you do get a kill with this thing, it will give you increased reload speed. And when you get a kill with all three weapons, you will get a big buff of reload speed for your teammates as well. That lasts like over a minute. And then for the final weapon, the Harmony, a lot of people know about this one already. It's basically just a scythe where when you do a heavy attack with it, it consolidates all DOTs on the enemy into a singular super death hit, basically. So once you get a kill with the Harmony, you get increased status duration, and longer status duration means longer duration slash procs, which be consolidated into a higher damage hit. So once we get a kill with all these weapons, Evensong, Cantare, and the Harmony, our buffs are increased quite extensively, actually. They're like doubled up, and they last a lot longer. So that's what you're going to do if you want to have these things fully buffed up. Now, what is the use of this? Why am I even bothering like a month after launch? Well, the real reason is that I just didn't cover them at launch. So yeah, Jade's Ensemble and Evensong, Cantare, Harmony sing together, the buff effects are doubled. So we are buffing everyone on our team with status duration, reload speed, and multi-shot. Where would that be useful? It would be useful if we ever got a raid back in Warframe like the devs said they want to add back. I think that if we have this stuff, well, I'll show the builds and stuff, but I just want to talk about this real quick. If we have this weapon right here, the Evensong, this can shut down any enemy. Imagine in a raid we have like an immune enemy that is like walking around and we can't stop it. At least it wouldn't be able to hurt anybody with this active on it if it was vulnerable to status procs. Additionally, everyone having increased reload speed could be great for a DPS phase in a raid boss fight, and not to mention 70% multi-shot for everyone. Like you sacrifice one person's DPS, like Frost or whoever, for example. You have a crappy DPS weapon equipped, you have the Evensong equipped, but you buff everyone with 70% multi-shot. That might be worth it in a high stakes setting with lots of players. We don't know when the raids come back, if they will have 8 players before. If you didn't know this, old Warframe raids had 8 players. So 8 players getting 70% multi-shot each is a lot of multi-shot going around from one player buffing them. So pretty nasty stuff. But yeah, we're on Frost right now, and I just messed around with the build. I mean, it's not like I'm changing it that much, but just wanted to use Arcane Ice Storm for funsies. On enemy frozen, gain increased ability strength and ability duration. Doesn't really matter, but it's called Arcane Ice Storm. We're playing Frost, so it makes sense. Multi-augmented also for more power strength. Between these two, it's about 100% power strength buff, which is pretty nice. For Nourish, we get some built-in viral in our attacks, which can be kind of nice for getting more damage. And Biting Frost, getting crit chance and crit damage to frozen enemies, just perfect for what we're doing right now, because these weapons need a little bit of help. Now, for the Evensong, as I said earlier, we are using a Blast Proc build, and since we apply hits twice, we can get Blast Proc explosions really easily. Something to keep in mind, though, is that this weapon, when you do the charge shot, the punch through is not going to work. So, Prime Shred, this would be a great place to put a multi-shot Riven to get more Blast Procs out there. But for right now, Prime Shred's great for bows. There's other fire rate mods you can throw on there too if you prefer. But for right now, I'm just going to use Prime Shred because I have it. Vile Acceleration would be totally fine, as would, Vigilante or Speed Trigger. Really, guys, you can just do whatever you want. Just keep in mind that Puncher does not work on the charge shots that well. You just go ahead and actually put that on there right now. Okay, so yeah, this is what we got for the Blast Proc build on Longbow Sharp Shot. Really rare arcane, but is great on bows, giving a ton of extra damage on headshot for the next shot. So just hit one headshot, no kills needed. You got big damage afterwards. Galvanized Aptitude, we're getting some puncture procs in there. It's pretty decent. Also with Nourish, it's pretty decent as well. Vigilante Supplies giving us increased crit tiers. Puncture procs also increase your crit chance, and so if you have all those puncture procs on them, we're getting over 100% crit chance when everything's said and done. For the Cantare, this thing is definitely the one that needs the most help and is the least popular. I've got a Cantare crit chance, or crit damage and multi-shot Riven, because as stated earlier, once you reload, the daggers are guaranteed red crits. So we basically fully stacked up crit damage with Hollow Point. This is an experimental mod. Hollow Point, Prime Target Cracker, and Cantare Acrocon. If you don't have Cantare Acrocon, you could just put like a Hornet Strike mod there, honestly. And I've also got Secondary Outburst, giving us up to 240% increased crit chance and crit damage. The Harmony build we've got today is a perma 6x build, so it's about 120% crit chance and crit damage at all times. But we only care about the crit damage part. Additionally, Synth Charge, increased damage bonus on the final shot, requires a magazine of 6 or higher. We have a 6-round magazine, and when you reload the Cantare, all those red crit daggers are going to be getting this buff. But just make sure you reload from empty. And we want to make sure we expend our entire magazine, so anemic agility for a bunch of extra fire rate. Now, it's not the best, but I found some synergies with it. With the slash is very high, so it's pretty good with Ash. It's got good crit on the recall, so Frost, 4th ability, and some other things too. But yeah, for the most part, it's not very good. Then the Harmony, everyone probably already knows about this one, but yeah, increased status duration on heavy kill, and yeah, that's what we're pretty much maximizing right here. Same build as before, but with new Galvanized mods. And now think about Galvanized Elementalist. So, this is a heavy attack weapon to me. Like, no questions asked. As you can see, Melee Elementalist gives heavy attack wind-up speed and status damage. This mod got added in the update. The Harmony was added. This mod was literally made for the Harmony, okay? Galvanized Elementalist, it gives you less status damage, but on melee kill, you get increased status chance. We don't care about normal status chance because slash procs from heavies are forced. So, status chance not required there. It's just worse than Melee Elementalist on the Harmony because heavy attack wind-up speed is a big deal. We have pretty much no heavy attack wind-up speed anywhere else, and less status damage just means less big damage numbers. So, wouldn't recommend Galvanized Elementalist on this weapon, but it's fine on some other weapons too. Like melee influence weapons are fine with this. But yeah, as far as new mods, here we got Galvanized Steel, giving us increased crit damage on kill, and also Galvanized Reflex, giving us heavy attack efficiency and initial combo on kill. So we get an infinite 5x from this if we get enough kills, and with Corrupt Charge it goes to an infinite 6x, which is pretty nice. Now, if you don't want to run this because you're like, the nerd math doesn't check out, dude, it's not enough damage, you could definitely put on a mod like Glad or Might, or you could put on a mod that's just not Corrupt Charge. I like to have Corrupt Charge because it's perma 6x for Outburst, and just, it's pretty good damage, honestly. So, yeah, mathematically, it might be better to put on something like Glad or Might, but for me, I got Corrupt Charge in here for perma 6x. And Melee Affliction, enemies affected by status procs gain 6 additional stacks when they're knocked down or flung by a melee attack. Usually works with the knockdown of a heavy attack, but keep in mind that you will not be seeing the multi-billion easy mode you had before, unless you really buff it up. And today we're not really buffing it up. Now for Diriga, I'm just using it with Frost, basically to get that Arc Coil proc out there, to get the Archon Stretch, to get basically constant energy regen. Pretty good. We've also got Synth Deconstruct. Enemies injured by the Diriga are going to be giving us this orb drop. And I had Medi-Ray on there for Anaros, because I was playing Anaros the other day. You should definitely put on Guardian over Medi-Ray, unless you're playing Anaros, or maybe even Nidus. So, yeah, got that right there. And for the Verglas Prime, keep in mind that Galvanized mods do work if you have the proper primary type equipped on your frame. So we've got a rifle equipped, or a bow for that matter, same weapon type of this game. So when we get Galvanized stacks on our bow, it will work on our Sentinel's Verglas as well to get some pretty good damage in there. So, yeah, that's going to be basically the entire loadout, guys. Now, again, stated earlier, I've said this since this weapon came out. If we ever get a raid back in Warframe like the devs want to add back, the Evensong will be important in that raid because of the buffs it provides, because of the debuff it provides of making enemies not able to damage you. It could be at least a utility weapon in the raid going forward. So, would I recommend this overall loadout? Like, are you going to bring your entire loadout for Jade weapon just because you feel like because they're OP? No, they're not OP. They're not. The Harmony was OP. The Harmony is still probably one of the best sights in the game, but yeah, it's not like broken damage like it was before. It's like still like really, really strong damage, but not busted OP broken damage. The Cantare, dude, don't even bother. Like the Cantare Ribbons should be like 5 plat, if that. It's not a good weapon. It can get some work done, as stated earlier. It can get some work done, but really, do you see yourself doing this? Throwing out the blades, reloading the blades. I see 4 million damage. It could get some damage in there, but the real weapons you should care about for this are definitely going to be still the Harmony like before. Still get those big damage numbers, like with hardly any effort at all. And still, the Evensong, I think the Evensong is underrated for sure, but at the same time, we have Incarnons, we have like actual rocket launcher bows, like the Brahma and stuff. 4 meter AoE just ain't really that phenomenal. And again, you can extend it with Firestorm, but like, Firestorm with a normal bow? Like, what? So, I wouldn't really recommend these things, but I did want to make sure I eventually covered them. I think the Evensong does have potential in the future, but a lot of that damage right there is just me buffing with Frost. So, if you want to buff your teammates, have a little bit of fun, maybe try it out. If not, you didn't miss anything. I didn't miss anything when I didn't cover these things, and you didn't miss anything not using the Cantare or the Evensong. So hopefully you got the Harmony. These do come to the Ascension game mode on Uranus, and hopefully this video was at least a little bit informative to you guys. Again, I did mess a bunch with this was originally going to be a Cantare only video, and then I'm like, man, I'm not putting out a Cantare only video. That thing is not worth a singular video. So we got all 3 of them in here, and again, as stated, they are very flexible. So if you want to run a corrosive build on the Evensong, go for it. You got Nourish, you got Viral Corrosive. If you want to run a Viral 100 Munitions build, go for it. Just make sure that whatever you're running, you do have a lot of multi-shot, because the more multi-shot, the better for getting all those procs out there. So I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully it was fun, helpful. No, take it easy. Peace.